In a week in which junior doctors went on strike over their hours, a New Zealander has taken the case for doctor welfare, about as far as you can go in the medical world. Dr. Sam Hazledine believes the Physicans Oath, which states, and I quote, "The health of my patient will be my first consideration," requires something of an addition, an explicit acknowledgement that doctors need to start looking after their own health too. Now, this is not only about ours, although his campaign is timely in the context of this week's strike. It's about doctors who are less stressed, less exhausted, less unhappy, doing better work and providing better care, a win-win effectively. So Dr. Hazledine started collecting signatures to encourage medicine's governing body, the World Medical Association, to work doctor welfare into its oath. And lo and behold, his timing was perfect. More on that in a moment. But first I asked Sam Hazledine why.
One of the things that, as doctors, we put our patients first, and we absolutely should. It's core to our profession. But I think there's been a paradigm that we've been operating under, which is I will sacrifice myself to put my patients first.
Yep.
Essentially, I've done a lot of research over the past few years and found that 87% of doctors are stressed beyond levels that are productive. One study of 2,000 physicians found that. Another study of 12,000 physicians found that only 6% rate their morale as positive. You know, the recent study in New Zealand found that over 50% of doctors are right now experiencing symptoms of burnout, and over 50% wouldn't choose to be doctors again. I mean, the profession is in a crisis, but it's a crisis that we don't put on display. We hide it behind a professional facade.
So, Sam, getting through that facade is the intention, right? Well-being for patients and physicians. You collected 4,500 signatures, which is a lot of doctors, obviously, and your aim is to get the health of the doctor to be written into the Physicians Oath. And I see here your timing is superb because the World Medical Association's been meeting and they're discussing the Physicians Oath.
Timing couldn't have been better. So there was a real fortune shining on us. And I got in touch with this doctor, and he said, well, we've got our General Assembly happening, which happened a couple of days ago in Taipei. And he said, would love you to come and present to the working group. Like, I couldn't believe my luck. And so I got on a plane and flew to Taipei and presented to this working group. And every single one of them agreed with what I was saying. Every single one of them said this is absolutely something we need to include in the Declaration of Geneva. And the ensuing discussion there was nothing to do with should we include it. It was almost a given. The discussion was, well, how do we word it so it fits in with the rest of the Declaration of Geneva? It couldn't have gone better. This is on Tuesday. The following day, they took it to the World Medical Association Ethics Committee, who approved it. And so the next steps will be potential public engagement, whether it's with the general public or with just the medical professionals. That is to be determined, and with the goal of, in October 2017, at their next General Assembly in Chicago, taking that to the World Medical Association, the General Assembly, and having them ratify it. So there's a real appetite for it, and I think that it's not just young doctors. I think doctors are starting to see that this old paradigm of I'll sacrifice everything to put my patient first just isn't working. As I said, the profession's in a crisis. If 50% of doctors would regret the decision to become doctors, we've got a real problem. And I think that problem is driving change in a really positive way.
That's Dr. Sam Hazledine, who has been attempting to drive that change before the World Medical Association's